Hi, I'm Yasmin Fernandes and I welcome you to my world of cooking in What's Cooking Man? To choose your subtitles, go to the upper right hand corner to the setting button and switch on the captions and choose your language. Hi everyone, today we are going to make the famous Goa stew. I'm going to show you mutton stew today. It's relatively easy to make, involves just a few steps. So let's get started. I've taken 2 cups of elbow pasta, that is macaroni, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon of oil, and in the masala to be ground I've taken quarter cup of coriander, 2 green chilies, around 15 to 20 flakes of garlic and an inch of ginger. Also, we will require half a teaspoon of whole black peppercorns, 4 cardamoms, 5 cloves and 2 pieces of cinnamon. Also, I have chopped 2 tomatoes and 2 onions, a cupful of green peas, a cupful of carrot which I have diced and made small pieces like this, and also a cupful of potatoes also which have been diced into small pieces, some vinegar, salt and half a kg of mutton which has been washed well and cut into small pieces like this. Just small pieces so that it will cook nicely. Now first let's grind the coarse masala. So put in the coriander, ginger, garlic, green chilies and then we will just in pulse mode, we will make a very coarse paste. Do it in pulse mode so that you get a nice coarse paste. Please do not use any water for this masala. There, our masala is now ready. As you can see, it is ground coarsely. And we will now marinate the mutton by adding salt. I have added a little more than a teaspoon of salt. Also, we will add in the masala which we just ground. In addition to that, I am going to add a tablespoon of vinegar. You can use any vinegar, palm vinegar, white vinegar. It's less than a tablespoon, a little less than around 2 teaspoons let's say. And then give it a good mix. Once we have mixed the mutton well, we will now cover it and keep it aside and go on to the next step. I've kept some water to boil and the water has now come to a rolling boil. In the water, we will now add just a small amount of oil, very little oil, and then we will add in our macaroni, that is the elbow pasta, and give it a good stir. Now we will cover the pan and allow our pasta to cook up to 80%. While the pasta is cooking, we will now go ahead with the further step, that is, in a pan I am going to add 2 tablespoons of butter and just a tablespoon of oil. We will allow the butter to melt properly. Once the butter has melted properly, we will now add in the cinnamon, cardamom, peppercorns and the elaichi, that is the cardamom. And we will saute well till we get a nice aroma. Then we will add in the onions. The onions have to be sauteed till they change their color slightly. Allow them to become slightly pinkish brown. Also add in the salt required. At every stage only use the amount of salt that is required. Our onions have almost changed their color nicely and at this stage I will add in the tomatoes. So I have added 2 tomatoes which will now be mixed with the onions and then we will cover the pan and allow the tomatoes to soften. This will take around 4 to 5 minutes. You can also stir in between. There, can you see? The tomatoes have now softened very well Just mash them up a little with the spoon, and this is the consistency that we require. Now, at this stage, the mutton which we had kept aside to marinate will now be added to this onion and tomato mixture, and we will saute the mutton on a medium flame for at least 4 to 5 minutes. Please saute it really well. This is what will bring out the good taste in your stew. So patiently do this, and then once you've sauteed the mutton well, just add in a cup of water. Very little water at a time. Just 1 cup now. Close the pan and allow the mutton to cook. Let's get back to our elbow pasta, that is the macaroni, and check if it's done. It's not done, so we'll close the lid once again and allow it to cook well. There, our pasta is now ready. It's 80% done, that's what we need. At this stage, we will drain the water. So carefully drain your pasta well, and then just put in about just a little teaspoon of oil and just mix it in. Now keep the pasta aside to cool, and let's get back to our mutton. It's been around 15 minutes and we'll need to add a little more water. So I'm going to add another cup of water, and once again we will close the lid and on a low flame. I'm cooking the mutton on a low flame. Just stir it in between once or twice. Now let's check if the mutton is done. Totally, the mutton has taken about more than 45 minutes to cook. At this stage now, add in the potatoes which we had cubed. Give that a good stir. And once more, we will add just a little water, maybe half a cup. Close the lid and allow the potatoes to cook for at least 5 minutes. The potatoes are not yet done, but at this stage, we don't want them to be overdone. So at this stage, we are going to add in the peas and the carrots. Give everything a good mix. There is no need to add any water now. There's sufficient water. So put on the lid and allow the vegetables now to cook. Let's check now. We'll check each and everything. First, let's check the carrot. There, the carrots are done. The potatoes also are done. And let's just take some green peas and just mash them with the fork and see if they are done. Put the lid on now for just a minute or two, that's it. And our stew will be ready. So let's add in the macaroni and give everything a good mix. Add in little macaroni at a time. There, see, it's done beautifully. And it's 80% done. By the time you mix it with the heat of the stew, it will be properly done. This stew is so delicious. It's really yummy and you must give this a try. It's a very famous dish and very delicious. Highly recommended. So do like, share, subscribe, press the bell icon, and of course get your lovely comments in. Let's serve our stew now. Hot stew. Nothing like a hearty stew for lunch. Lovely. This is so delicious and nice. I really like to have this stew, and so will you. Thank you for watching.